Pick up the action immediately in Vestal as the Golden Bears host Unitigo. Evan Webb picking up the offensive board here and 2 points to give Vestal a first quarter lead. But the Spartans answer right back. Jacob Kingsbury finds Xander Johnson for 3. That's good, and Unitigo back up by 1. Golden Bears press, though, creating problems all night for the Spartans. Brody Ahern finds the loose ball here, finds the lane, finds 2 points, and then moments later, Canyon Kalina with the layup. That extends the Golden Bears' lead. Spartans trying to shoot their way back in. Tyler Zachow with the triple. That's good. But the Bears, just too much and too many loose balls that they're the first to. Here, Jace Gannon gets a bucket off the rebound, and the Golden Bears get a 55-39 win. Edison opening their season at home against Shenango Forks. Spartans with some great ball movement here in the first. Brendan Smith to Talon LaPlante. Andrew Slavin in the shot. Corner finds Zach Piper. That's a score for Spartans. Touch the ball there. A little later, Edison pushing the issue down the floor. Smith here finding it right around the defense, and another bucket to make it a ball game. But the Blue Devils finding a rhythm after that in the second quarter. Jaden Decker, the and one, count it. The three-point play gives Forks a 15-6 lead, and then defense into offense. The loose ball ends up in the hands of Ethan Vasilik, and this ends up with a slam dunk. Shenango Forks rolls, and they get the win, 61-40. And we move over to Owego as Miles Woodhouse looking for some help here for Horseheads. The bounce pass into the paint. John Durr there for an easy 2 points, and the Blue Raiders are out in front. Keegan Zeller grabbing the rebound, the basket, and 2 more points. Back and forth here in the first half. Griffin Stevens, nowhere to go on the wing, kicks it back out to Holloway. And a 3 here. That's good. But second quarter, Owego moving the ball around the perimeter, and Kingston Brainerd hits the 3. And the Riverhawks are getting back into this one. They trail by just 1 when Duke Snyder knocks down this triple to take the lead, and they don't look back. Riverhawks pull ahead in the second half, and they get the win 65-53. 2 other games tipping off on Thursday night. Norwich a winner on the road, 70-29 over the Wolverines. And the final game in boys basketball, Windsor a winner, 75-65 over Walton Downsville. Moving over.